My husband's new wife stood at my door with a greedy smile, in a taunting voice. She said, "We've come to take our share." Hello. My name is AITA. I'm a 26-year-old woman from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm going to tell you the story of how I found my quiet strength. I opened the entrance to find her standing there, the woman who took my former spouse. Her tresses were sleek, her lips, colored in that shade of crimson he once vowed, appeared best on me, and beside her he stood my past husband Jane's, now her quivering shadow. She didn't waste a moment. Her arrogant grin broadened as if she had been practicing it in the looking glass. "We are here for our rightful share of your father's property," she declared, smoothly, malice woven into the sweetness. "Vacate the premises immediately." My fingers grasped the doorframe, not out of dread but self-control. Had she looked intently, she might have observed the composure in my vision, because I already anticipated how this moment would conclude. I allowed the quiet to linger, then with the slightest upturn of my lips, I moved to the side. My attorney David appeared right behind me, talking, his presence slicing the air like a razor. Her arrogant grin failed. For the initial time, there was a period when I would have suffered for him. He wasn't simply my husband, he was my sanctuary, my happiness, my associate in everything. When we first met, I believed destiny had presented my future to me on a precious tray. He made guarantees only the naive believe. Late evening murmurs of perpetuity, blueprints for children, discussions of aging together. I held those utterances in my core like holy scripture. I defended him against every skeptic, and when my father passed away, I clung to him as my support through the sorrow. Little did I realize he was already loosening his hold on me, reaching for another person. It commenced with a telephone communication he didn't want me to overhear, then professional journeys that didn't correspond with the receipts, the scent of fragrance that wasn't mine. I inquired nothing, I merely observed. The ultimate shock arrived when I pursued him, the vision of them together, holding hands, chuckling in the gloom of a dining establishment, where he once took me on my birth anniversary. That was the moment my heart ceased shattering, because it solidified instead. Tears, they would have boosted his vanity. Yelling, that would have granted her gratification. No, I selected quiet, and quiet is deadly when honed into a master plan. While he gathered his clothing and mumbled apologies that signified nothing, I packed away my anguish. I concealed it where they would never uncover it, behind my grin. I contacted my solicitor the following morning. We reviewed every possession, every ownership record, every oversight he had overlooked in his hubris, and we began weaving the trap. Phase 1 secure. My father's holdings. It had never been in my husband's title, but I ensured unshakable safeguards were established. Phase 2, the dissolution of the marriage. I let him suppose he had escaped with everything. I didn't contend over the trivial belongings. I signed promptly without fuss. He presumed my silence was frailty. Phase 3, the fortitude. I waited for him to wed her Diana, waited for her avarice to surface, waited for the instant she would stride to my entrance, demanding what she believed she had pilfered. And then I yanked the final cord. Now, here she was, Jane's new wife, with an arrogant grin that said she thought she had already emerged victorious. But behind me, my lawyer, David, stepped ahead, his tone polished, rehearsed, devastating. "Mrs. Stone," he stated, addressing her, not me, "you appear misinformed. This property is legally shielded, tied to my client exclusively. Neither you nor your husband hold a single legal right to it." In fact, he retrieved a document from his briefcase, opening it with careful precision. "Given the misleading assertions made by your husband during the divorce proceedings, we are now seeking compensatory damages. Substantial damages." Her face went pale. He blinked quickly, his courage collapsing, and I remained standing there, tranquil, savoring the collapse. "Depart," my solicitor finished, his tone absolute. "Or we file today." She opened her mouth, but no expressions came out. Her arrogant grin had totally vanished, and for the first time, I saw apprehension creep into her flawless posture. They departed without an additional statement. I secured the entrance softly behind them. The dwelling was quiet once more, but this quiet wasn't burdensome. It was freedom. I strolled through my father's private office, my fingers brushing the backs of volumes he once cherished. He had educated me about patience. He had educated me about resilience that didn't need to shout. And in that moment I grasped revenge isn't about noise. It is about exactness. It is about letting them excavate their own interment and then making certain they see you standing above it. I didn't lose a husband. I lost a hangaround, and I acquired something far more profound. The fulfillment of understanding that when she arrived to seize everything from me, she left with nothing, not even her smirk. Love this story? Hit subscribe to Home Exposed, and stay tuned for more unbelievable real-life stories you won't want to miss.